So anyways, if I just start wrenching on this guy, look, that's nice. That just comes right off. So I don't think I need a cut for, oh my gosh. I picked out, somebody picked some really nice pallets by hand for you guys to learn. Okay, so we got 10 like this. Now look at how, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I swear.
What a treat.
So the next thing that we would do here, right, is we only want to take off one piece at a time, because look at how dangerous this is. Imagine I just put this over here and then we could keep working. And then if I'm alone in the shop, it's different, okay? But if we have 6 people also working around, if you step on that, this day is over for everybody, because we're going to the hospital for somebody. You're getting a round of tetanus shots, because it's rust here, all right? And you're getting stitches, right? And probably some antibiotics, all right? So what we're gonna do is immediately we have nails out. This piece is now my closest friend here, because nobody's coming near this piece until I make it safe. So it's here, I'm working, everybody else has some space. What we're gonna do is just pound these nails out. They came out so nice and straight. I mean, this is not what I was dealing with in mind, but you just pound these out, all right? Look, I'm nice and choked up on this hammer. You don't have to hold it here. This is a 15-ounce hammer. I've got 12s, I've got 16s, I've got 22s. The 12s are probably, if you want a smaller hammer, get a 12-ounce. They say right on there, 15 ounce, 12 ounce. This is a 15-ounce. Really nice weight. Nice and brand new. I love it. I love it. Okay? But I'm not going to hold it here, because I don't need that much power. I just need to have more control. So I'm choked up to here. Look where I'm choked up to. And I'm holding this. I got a firm grip. With a firm grip, pound those right out. Before I rip those out, what I'm going to do is pound out everybody. So you can use this pallet as your work surface now. Those are hanging down there, so I'm going to leave them there. This is like a clamp, okay? Nothing works right now if this isn't like a lot of weight here. So if you saw me struggling in that video, you would really know like the amount of weight and force in here. If this is moving at all, this doesn't go smoothly. And look, now I've got this space right here. These are down, I've got a space here, 3 nails. Don't put your hand into this, okay? Clamp tight here. I'm getting these nails out. Okay, now, look at this, nice and straight and beautiful. I don't even think these are ring shank, okay? They're ring shank. So the spiral shank are a little more of a problem. So now, look, I'm not choked up so much. I want the full leverage on this thing now, all right? And with a couple of pulls, we get this out. Reggie, pass me that little yellow bin. So I got a couple of options here for our little nail storage. Some bags there. I've got this little thing. We're going to be saving nails, okay? And you want to try to get these suckers out nice and straight. And like you could also start giving them a little straight now, because part of the biggest frustration I had in that video was those nails. These are gorgeous. Oh my gosh, nice, straight, easy to use. Ring shank. Pass it around. Take a look at the ring shank. Okay, so we're going to pull all these out a little bit at a time. You can like get a little bit of like leverage. You kind of hit it, you know, like I'm not just pulling all of a sudden, right? I'm just like pure kinetic energy. What is the other one like? I'm
static.
I'm hitting like hammer. You like it's a little hit and it gets it going. So you're not just gonna like hook on here and pull. Like it's not gonna really work as good. I'm gonna actually come off and I'm like hammering it a little bit.
Just a little tension.
Yeah, like what is the difference here? Static energy versus kinetic energy? Well, how does that work, Shaw?
I learned that a long time ago.
Alright. It's like an object in motion wants to stay in motion, but like if it's at rest, like I could get this out, right? But it's not as easy, and if this was a more difficult nail, if this was spiral shanked at all, I mean, trust me, that pull pure force, it's not the way to go. You want to actually like use it like a hammer on the way out. That's why in that video, I want you to watch it again after you try to do this. This pallet's nice and easy, but you'll start to see them boom, 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 like try to get it out, try hard. These nails are like easy, like one time, but a more difficult nail, you know, you guys are gonna start getting a feel for a lot of different pallets. So we have a nice piece of wood here. Okay, now this is safe. Make sure there's no nails. Check it twice, and that's good. So if we were gonna continue to go down the line here, I would say this pallet is definitely a good candidate for one board at a time. And you probably, with how easy that came off, you could probably just use the hammer, okay? You probably do not need the big guns. You could use the standard pry bar, This is kind of the standard issue. And this guy, I mean, you could use it this way, and you probably just would get it, right? You can see it almost wants to come, but you don't want to just have a little bit. You break the board right here. The board wants to check, so the board always wants to break along the grain. So when you see the piece of grain, sometimes it's decent, sometimes it's vertical grain running right up the board. You see the grain of the tree. The wood always wants to split where that grain is. So you see the startings of a checker. You see a little bit of grain, you know, you start to see it crack. Just know that crack's going to run. It's like splitting fire. It splits along the grain of the wood, the way the tree grew. So you want to be careful to watch it. Like each piece, let's just say each piece is valuable here because we have a limited supply, and you want to get as much as you can. So with this kind of action, I'm holding this extremely hard. This is a firm grip on this, and this is a firm shot, you know, and I'm holding, look, I'm choked up again, but I'm holding this I'm squeezing this as hard as I can. Look at my thumb. It's on the back, like, this is an extension of my body. This is not there's none of this. There's none of this happening here. This is like this. This is this full extension of the body, fully choked up, fully in control. And I'm not swinging this behind me. I'm not swinging it. These are little controlled shots, but they're hard. Okay, now look, I'm going to start prying on this. First thing I'm going to do, I'm putting weight on this pallet. Because if I pry, this whole thing's just going to move. So you really need to control this thing. And again, give it a little wrenching action. It's kind of stuck. It's more stuck than the fretboard. So I'll come here, see what's going on. It's not really going. It's not really doing it. All right, so this one, you can loosen each side a little bit. Come around, try to come here. Maybe. Okay, so you see this one's holding a lot tighter. Okay, so there's a couple things. Look, just right like that. Look what I got. Different nails there. Longer, still ring shank. These were like tacks compared to these. What are these guys doing? They're using 1 1/4 and 3s. 1 1/4 4 gauge, 3-inch 8 gauge. What's going on? That's why it's a lot different. So, you know, we're going to learn. Probably all these pallets are built that way. When you hit these 3-inch nails, that's a different story. You saw how much different that was. It's a different story. Now, I was able to get it up a little bit, just enough to get the hammer under there. This one's staying low, right? But I got it, right? I just got under the nail. With a little tap of the pry bar, I got it going. But what I'm going to do is not continue that. I could use this. But look at how it just bent that nail up. You don't want to bend it, you know. You could use that. You could use the hammer, and then when we go to try to reuse this, try not to tear up the rug here, but you know what I was doing in that video, a lot of, which you might not notice, is a lot of this. And I was not. This would have been a dream as far as what I was dealing with. These nails are nice. Okay, so now this is up, and we got 2 more sides down. So you know, we just continue on down the line. Okay, so it's these tools. I should show you one other tool that is a cat's paw, which also can come in handy. Like if we can't get these loose, you can dig at it with a cat's paw. So let's see how it goes. Maybe I'll take off 2 more boards, and if I got to show you the cat's paw, I'll show you the cat's paw. It's basically a claw that you can dig under into the wood and get under the nail when you can't get under it. So we're going to try to get under it. Okay, so go ahead and get it in there. Put some weight on there and just loosen it up. You hear little cracks. You got to listen. You'll hear it. If you start to hear that, you know there's some kind of cracking happening. You could hear it. I know you could. You'll hear it. You'll feel it. You know, okay, let's ease off and try somewhere else because we don't want to lose this piece. We already invested a lot of time into it. So we've got it loose. Loose in a couple spots. And, you know, if it's not just coming up, we know it's not just going to come up because we got 3-inch ring shank nails. So my other technique here worked well. Let's see if I get it. Look, all 3 of those are coming out now. Okay, so I would prefer the hammer, and now here, this is very dangerous. Because this nail, you see what I'm doing? Watch this nail fly up and hit Reggie in the face. Okay, trust me, one of you guys is going to be pulling out boards and these nails are going to go flying. This is a sharpened steel projectile, okay? And it will move. It will shoot so fast and stick into the scrap lumber on the wall up there, I promise you. This thing will move with that amount of force, and the last kick out, you know, these things will fly around. So eye protection, don't take it off, okay? So all of these nails are ready to come. Just a little bit of prime got them lifted, okay? So you see what happens, and if you sometimes you get that last little kick, and you got to be aware of where you're throwing nails, okay? So now probably that this is out and this is out, you can probably get it up and out, okay? And sometimes it needs a little bit more encouragement, all right? And then look how easy. Right back there, and a little straightening it out. These nails don't have to be perfectly straight. You come back down. Maybe slightly straightening is helpful. Right, and this one's stubborn. Okay, that one's being a little bit more bent than is ideal, and it's very stubborn. So this is the one I'm going to show you how to use a cat's paw on, okay? Let me just go grab the cat's paw real quick. This is the cat's paw. You can see why it's aptly named the cat's paw, right? Okay. So what we do with the cat's paw, we need to secure this piece. So we have all the nails out. There's no sharp nails. What I'm going to do on this one is I'm going to hop right on this because you really want this thing secure. I need both hands. So I'm going to use my body here. And I'm going to get this a little bit less far from the edge. Okay, and with this cat's paw, I'm going to put it up kind of close to the nail, but I need to come in at an angle. So you can kind of see where I'm at here. I'm going to hold this thing really sturdy with this hand and start sending it into the wood. And hopefully get underneath that nail and just get it started. And now it's out. Now I gouged the shit out of this piece of wood. Okay, but that's what the cat's paw does. Okay, but how about that stubborn ass nail? Done. All right, so now we have those three tools. You can pry the ball, you can pry everything loose, you can pull nails with this. You can start nails, get them up a little bit more, get the board loose, knock it back down and hit the head of the nails. You got your hammer, your pry bar, and your cat's paw. With that combination, you have everything that you need to do this. Now, like, we're gonna try to avoid the 50 caliber. Okay, but if you need it, if you're really struggling with one, or if we have some harder pallets than this, we have these available. And I have other sizes. You know, this is kind of the most dramatic one. We have multiple levels of, you know, how much leverage you can get on these. So no pallet is safe, all right? So we're going to try to stick with those basic three that we're looking at there on the ground, knowing that these guys are available, all right? So some of the most important safety tips are, look, when you're swinging this hammer, I mean, you saw me a couple of times like this, right? I'm pretty comfortable with a hammer, right? But maybe for the beginning, let's not swing the hammer towards ourselves or towards where our knees are. One slip, one pop off of this and into my knee, like a hammer into the knee is a lot of pain. Okay, so you know, you guys may want to just always be away, or may always want to be like from the side here. You know, some of this kind of action, you guys might not have enough control. You know, you see me hitting it like this, you might not feel like you have a lot of control this way. You have to no backhand. All right, only a forehand. Only a forehand right out in front of you right here. Okay, when you gain more command over the tools, You can do more with it. But don't expect right away you're going to be able to do everything and like have full command. Like, it takes years of practice. You know, we're going to be practicing and practicing and practicing, but carpentry is a practice, right? It's like, you know, you see medical professionals and legal professionals call what they do a practice. Yoga professionals call what they do a practice. It means it's something you have to do all the time. You practice it. You practice these things. You practice woodworking. You practice carpentry. So, you know, you're always practicing. You're always improving. You're always learning. And like, as am I. So, you know, honestly, how many pallets have I broken down and made tools out of? I don't know. One. Okay, maybe one. So, you know, after I've done 10, my practice on this particular task will be improved. So what I want you guys to do is keep in mind of where you're at. Don't do anything dangerous. Like, these tools these are sharp. This is sharp. This tool is dangerous, okay? This tool is also very dangerous. Any slip, especially the hammer, you know, any slip, anything that's coming into your hand, like, always, like, I'm not holding this thing like here and hitting it that hard. You hit your finger that hard and it will pop. Okay, so look, I'm up here using this cat's paw. My finger was here, I was holding it pretty tight, but like, your tolerances might be different than mine. Okay, you might want to start here, okay, and feel like, okay, you know what, I'm doing that. You might realize you hit here on accident. You know, your command over this hammer might have you land a blow 4 inches away. Okay, if you're landing blows 4 inches away, that's okay. But just know where your precision is. You know where your range looks like, and then you might want to hold this thing up here. And you might want to have your knees way back here, and maybe you want to have your posture be up here and out here, because you have a better hip hold over the pallet right here, but your knee is really close to that. Okay, so as you get more command, like the video you saw where I'm too savage, it's like, all right, I'm being savage, but also understand I have like a real kind of comfort level that's maybe dangerous with some of these tools. Like, my comfort level with doing that is high. Your comfort level is low, and I want you to stay aware of where your comfort level is at all time. And I don't want you to get reconnected to your comfort level when you hit your kneecap with the handle. That's a bad way to get reconnected to your comfort level. Okay? So just be aware. Maybe you want to hold it up here for a little while. Maybe you want to hold this real far away. Maybe you want to hold this all the way up and aim just for this part, And if you're hitting up here, maybe you just want to practice. Maybe you just want to maybe see if I can hit that nail head hard just on that nail head. I'm just going to keep hitting that and see where your scatter is. If you have a spot on the wood over there, well, now you know you're 2 inches off. So just keep practicing. Like, if you feel like you're not getting it, practice on something different and see if you can do it harder. And hit the same spot every time. And then look where I'm choked up. Watch if I'm here, how much that changes. How much less control I have. I might be off. Okay, I'm not, but there I am. Okay, so if I'm here, I have way more control, less power. You don't need so much power for this. Okay, so choke up, maintain control. A lot of your control comes from vice grip. Okay, that's why Brenda warmed up our wrist. You need to have a vice grip on these tools at all times. No limp wristedness, no weak grip. As soon as you do that, you lose all your control. This is an extension of your body. Okay, it has to be. You have to make solid blows and have a firm grip. Okay, so without any further ado, these are my tools. You guys are welcome to grab a set.